is a passage from the previous saga of 31, which further illustrates the additional punishment to be added to the lady for diminishing the force of karmas. This is a part of the ancient saga of billion years ago about a lady, Nagshri, who was punished for her serious mistake committed to offer a poisonous ahar to a Muni. In return, karma's network conferred her to go in the sixth hell. After passing through the terrible punishment, which was of billions of years, she came out of hell and passed through many phases of modes of life. At length she was born as a princess of a king Sagar Dutt belonging to the Champapuri. A beautiful princess, yet a part of the old karmas, was still in operation, punishing her with leprosy disease. King and queen had great affection with her, and parents took all kinds of steps in curing her from the disease, but remained in persistence. At a stage she appeared a young princess, and the king was worried about her marriage, and no one was prepared to marry her. The fouling order made her escape the friendly circles. However, the parents were concerned too. In the present mode of life, she was named Sukamli, who was previously as Nagshri, the wife of Sombhumi. This king ruled his reign smoothly by observing certain principles strictly. A young person of the city Champapuri was being punished for the malpractice, and the Kotwal of the city ordered for his ousting from the reign. While the soldiers were pushing him out and on the way, the guilty young person saw his mama and cried to save me from this punishment. The influential mama agreed to save on the condition that he would agree to what suggests. On accepting, the soldiers were advised to wait till I met the king. Upon meeting with the king, Mama proposed a plan that my nephew is prepared to marry your daughter provided you relieve him from the current punishment. All the concerned persons were delighted with this kind of arrangement, and on an auspicious day, the princess was married to the proposed person. On the first meeting with the princess at night, he could not bear the fouling smell and how he would spend the rest of time of the life with her. However, he passed the night by anyhow and made plans for escaping from this episode. It is not easy to get escaping from the gripping of the king. The best way is to take Diksha, and the next morning he left the given palace and met a Muni for initiation. At last he became a monk. With a heavy heart, Sukamli returned back to the parents' palace, and the king was sad and helpless. The whole family was jeopardized, but time adjusted them routinely. After a lapse of some time, a Muniraj possessing clairvoyance knowledge happened to visit the king, and whereas Princess Sukamli stated her problem, she wanted to know the kinds of karmas done by her in the previous life for getting the averted life. Muni inferred about her karmas activity and said that your karmas brought you to this condition because you served a poisonous ahar to a Muniraj who expired. As a result of these extremely bad deeds, you were thrown to sixth hell. Anyhow, Muniraj narrated the entire story further. However, your previous husband Sombhumi, elder sisters, and their husbands are in upper heaven and would face them in the next human life. She was sad to hear her old history and asked for the remedy. In coming to overcome this order, Muniraj suggested various measures of doing. As a result, she became a sadhvi cum ascetic for maintaining fasting and mantras to follow. She functioned at the forest and at home. She wholeheartedly followed the instructions of Muniraj and performed every task accordingly. One day, while observing her surroundings, she noticed a woman indulging with 5 men for pleasure in the forest. Her attention wavered, and she fell into deep agony. She thought, if I were free of this leprosy, I too could have enjoyed such pleasures with those 5 men. During her time as an ascetic, these kinds of thoughts surfaced momentarily before fading away. This fleeting self-curse, born from such thoughts, was imprinted on her soul by the mechanism of karma, setting the stage for future consequences. Over time, she overcame her terrible disease and emerged looking like a beautiful princess. Her heart and mind transformed, leaning toward spiritual growth, and she chose to avoid living a conventional life any longer. She aspired to become a true sadhvi, hoping to elevate her soul in future lives and to attain a spiritual standing similar to those closest to her who had achieved such a state much earlier. Before committing any wrong action, it has to be remembered that everything returns in greater measure, as karma ensures no one escapes unscathed.